corner. Not an absolute sitter, but one that he would normally pot.
Well, it looks like he's playing this with the spider. So it's another swerve he's playing. These are difficult shots to. I think he's playing the pot.
Foul. And a miss.
Oh, I'm not sure about that shot.
Stephen McGuire, 5.
I'm really not sure about that shot.
3 ball.
I wonder if he's a little bit too keen in this frame to win it to the point where he's not playing, you know, rational shots. Yes, he's been unlucky. This wouldn't be a nice one to reset up for the referee.
McGuire's got to decide whether to make Carter play again from the position left or have the balls replaced.
The replacement's not easy. The other thing he could do here, you know, he could develop the black. I'm not saying it's the shot, but it's a possibility, something to think about, because he'll need it, almost guaranteed. Put it this way, he's more likely to need it than his opponent. Now what's happening here? What's he said here to the referee? He said, does he want to take a look at the angle?
Right ball.
He's playing the brown. What on earth could he be playing here? Don't tell me he's going for this.
High risk.
I don't believe he's played that shot. I don't believe it. What kind of shot was that?
Well, Carter was showing signs of strain. McGuire got himself right back into the frame. He got a troublesome next shot if he'd given it to him to play. But McGuire preferred that highly missable brown as a free ball.
Well, I reckon that's given Carter some renewed hope, because that was, well, high risk and some. Especially when your opponent's in all sorts of trouble. He's either in trouble from the shot he had with the spider that he decided to play, or where the balls were. I can't believe he's played this. Guaranteed to leave the red on. Guaranteed. Well, maybe he's not lost the frame from it, but you know, there is a chance that Carter can get in behind the brown. There's not much room, but either way, you'd like to think that Carter's got the advantage of first good safety shot.
Nine hours of intense endeavour has gone into this match.
Ollie Carter, 7.
Well, if he did play in behind the brown, that angle would have not have been on, because the red would have been further to the right and would have hit before the middle pocket. There's tension between both these players. It's pretty apparent, which is no shock.
That was superb.
Just wondered if he hit it on the way up there, that black. That's what was my eyes deceiving me. I wondered if he just glanced off the black. Still a good shot. Could be that my eyes deceived me there, but anyway, doesn't matter at the moment. He's snookered.
Foul and a miss.
So that's called a miss.
Stephen McGuire, 4.
That's slightly harsh in my view. That means basically everything's going to be called a miss, because I don't think that you can have a much more difficult snooker than that to hit, and you can't get much closer to it.
I suppose the contrary argument, Neil, is that why should the player who's laid the snooker not get full reward from a difficult snooker when he can get a reward from
Foul and a miss.
an easier snooker?
Stephen McGuire, 4.
I know what you're saying. I'm not saying I'm right about it either. I just feel that there must be some situations where the referee will not call a miss. Yep, it was borderline. But put it this way, he got nowhere near it this time around. What he's saying now, on the first one, he's got to hit this now. He's proving that because he didn't miss it by more than a centimetre or two. And this is the problem, is setting the balls up, because they're quite important here, given that he didn't get to the red this time. This frame, he's turning into a very important one. That's pretty good as far as the setup is concerned.
Check the green. I thought that.
Well, the green looks that it wasn't quite on its spot. Well, no, we saw that it wasn't on its spot.
Makes all the difference.
Well, Michaela Tabb is assistant referee this afternoon at the scorers table. Anyway, here we go for take 3 for a very difficult escape.
Well,
Foul,
this
a
is the
miss.
point. I see this
Steve
as one
McGuire,
that he
4.
could miss 10 times. And the nearest he gets to it could have been the first time. Anyway, I'm not saying it's easy to make these kind of decisions, but this is quite a tough one. And the harder he hits it, the different throw he gets from the cushions.
Foul and a miss. Stephen McGuire, 4. Yeah.
Certainly changed the course of the frame.
Foul and a miss. Stephen McGuire, 4.
So that's 5 unsuccessful attempts.
You know, that last effort wasn't as far away as it looked. Just got to miss the jaw with the middle pocket.
Foul. Stephen McGuire,
See,
4.
I don't think that's a miss. I've got to be honest. I know other people might disagree, but to me that's not a miss. And I don't think Maguire's going to take it either. And I'm sure a miss was called there, wasn't it?
Well, I didn't actually hear that it was.
Well, okay.
So Leo Scullion, the referee, exercised his discretion there. If indeed he didn't call a miss, maybe he thought that it was just too difficult to have any reasonable chance of hitting it. Maguire's double just fails. Of course, the other argument is that 20 should be enough as a penalty for any snooker. Well, it hasn't upset Carter too much, and it's delighted Peter Ebden.
Well, I think the general opinion is that he didn't
4.
call a miss. I was expecting him to do so, and I don't think he called a miss on that final attempt. So fair play to Leo Scullion, although I do think the first one was about as far away as the last. But in the end, I think there was some justice in that.
6.
It's a big positional shot from green to brown, and thence from brown to blue.
Oh, he's hit that very, very well. What a good shot.
Just had a slight angle on the green, and with screw and reverse side, which was right hand side, he's got on the brown, but at what angle? How near can he get to the blue from this?
Terrific. That was a great shot. That's as good as the shot with screw back on the green.
So this simple blue is frame ball. Well, how relieved Carter must be to win this exceptionally tense and exceptionally long frame.
Yes, in or over with this.
Ali Carter, 18. And the frame.
Well, he's given up the frame.
Well, only pink and black left, but only one snooker needed. So Carter takes the frame and increases his lead to 15-10 within 2 frames of a place in the final. Well, McGuire made a great effort in that frame and was assisted by 20 points in fouls from a devilish snooker that he laid. But the referee, Leo Scullion, did exercise his discretion correctly, I believe, after 5 unsuccessful attempts from Carter. He did decide that Carter was as near to making the escape as he could reasonably be expected to get.
Yeah, look, I think that he's made the right decision, but I still say that the first effort was as close as the last. So, you know, if it's the right decision one time, it's the right decision another. But I think in the end he got there, put it
Thank
that
you.
way, just an opinion,
Frame
isn't it?
26. Stephen McGuire to break.
I was also surprised at the end of that frame that McGuire conceded with just 1 snooker needed. It was unlikely with only pink and black remaining, but at this stage of affairs, you'd think that he'd seize every lifeline, however threadbare.
Oh, excellent shot from Carter. Yeah, I mean, put it this way. If you're Ali Carter, you're delighted he's packed the frame in, aren't you? That's all you can say. You don't do what your opponent wants you to do, and that's what he's done there. 1 snooker, unlikely. If he could have kept it out and it wasn't hanging over the pocket, who knows? But it was a great frame in a number of ways. Both players looking slightly under the cosh, I thought, unsurprisingly. And Carter most relieved to win it, and the way he took them in the end was very good.
Somewhat earlier, McGuire made a key error when he had a free ball and he attempted a very difficult brown to middle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we always look at these things in hindsight. And I must admit, before he played it, I couldn't believe he was trying the brown. Even if he gets it, it's either brave or a stupid shot, I would say. Where he didn't have to do anything like that. You know, he really didn't have to play it. Wasn't forced into it.
12. $13.
I'm sure that has freed him up no end, winning that frame.
$18. $19.
A precision cannon
26.
brings him onto the back red.
$27.
He's got Q power, but unfortunately not quite enough to play that shot, because he played it in such a way that he had to get another lot of screw once he hit that final red there on the left, which was pushed out into the open. So the break will end.
Yeah.
A few years ago, as an insurance for the future, Carter learned to fly, got himself a commercial pilot's license, hence his nickname, the Captain. And just at the moment, it looks as if he's going to
Ali Carter, 27.
touch down safely in the final of this great championship. Not far off a plant. But the cue ball not at a promising angle to attempt it.
That's right. If he's over on the right of the table, then it might be worth a go. You'll not get much closer than that. Must be very frustrating for McGuire. It spells there's not much between the two players, but it was a session last night, really, I think, that has made all the difference.
One of the differences between them, as we see how close McGuire was to that pot, is in terms of shot selection. We've been speaking about
1.
an extraordinary shot selection that McGuire made in the last frame, and there was also one in the last frame of the second session when he ignored the obvious red for position in favour of one which was much more dicey, required a lot more effort to get good position from it, whereas you can't really criticise Carter's shot selection.
5.
Good balance between attack and defence.
Yeah, I think sometimes you're better off to accept you're under pressure than just deny you are and just keep playing the shots regardless at a time when there's every chance you're going to miss something because it's very tough. And there's no doubt that Carter has shown more patience.
Six.
Now if Carter can win this frame, he'd go 6 up with 7 to play. And you couldn't see him losing from there.
He does hit those shots well. Look at that. That's a beautiful shot.
8. Yeah. Nine.
Not so good this time. Now, if the plant is on, I don't know if he's looked at it yet, we saw it and it didn't look far off. If he's straight on this black, it might be worth him taking a look at it. Hang on a minute, he's just spotted it. I think it's the first time he's given it any thought. He saw it a few shots back and we figured that perhaps from the right of the table it was worth a go. Very close. Very close to being on. He's pulling faces, but if it's on, it's on. This would probably just top McGuire's day if this plant is on.
16.
Because he's probably thought that when Carter finished straight, there was nothing available. This goes in, I don't expect him to be very happy.
Not quite on the back red.
24.
No, and of course, if it was too straight, he could have played to get onto a red into the right middle. How much does he fancy cutting this in and smashing the reds open? He's not going to play it.
Ollie Carter, 24.
Well, he probably should have won the frame from that visit, but he's got a good lead of 51 points.
The pressure's all on McGuire to make it happen.
But nothing's difficult about the table. All the colours on their spots, reds out in the open at this stage, although of course a few safety shots down the line, a few might be on a cushion. Good shot. Real well played safety shot that. There is now a red on a cushion, or near it. Well, certainly he's playing that one.
Well, he wasn't, and because he missed the pot by such a margin, he cannoned into another ball, which was not his intention. It's 28 minutes since McGuire last potted a ball.
One.
Well, can you believe he's finished there? It's the only place on the table the black won't pot. Unbelievable at times, this game, isn't it? When he missed a pressure brown in the previous frame, he might be taking another one on here.
Ground ball.
Is he playing the snooker behind the yellow on this? That's the other shot he's looking at. Just touching him behind the yellow via the brown.
Stephen McGuire, one.
Certainly the percentage shot, which could never be said of the brown he took on as free ball at a crucial stage of the last frame when Carter was certainly under pressure.
Very good shot. Exactly how he would have played that half ball on the red and get the cue back to Bolt. That was a very good shot. He's left something for McGuire, but how do you like these 50 behind, almost guaranteed to lose the frame and probably the match if it doesn't go in. Goes 16-10 down, there can be no way back surely.
Terrific pot, and how cruel would it have been if he'd gone in off, but he's still not on the black.
It's still pretty cruel though, isn't it? What a great pot for just one again. It's not his day. He'd have been happy to just kiss the blue or anything on the way back. Great shot.
Ground ball. Stephen McGuire, one.
Yes, he gets the cue ball over to the right there, and the pink is the end ball in terms of any return to baulk, so that was the right shot.
Well, it's difficult there because obviously the pink's blocking off the right-hand side of the table. He's queuing down on this. Is he going for the pot? Could be playing it to get the cue ball to the black cushion. Oh, that's a fluke. That's an outrageous fluke.
One.
Yeah, you can't complain about bad luck there, I can tell you.
McGuire can smile. When it's going for you, it's going for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably now realises that it's not going to be his turn to reach the final, because he's done a lot wrong in this frame, really. Don't know whether he apologised or not, but I know that he wasn't very happy that Judd Trump wasn't doing so in his match with him.
Seven.
So as long as Carter doesn't carelessly going off, he's won this frame.
Black ball.
Yeah, and he's of course won the first two today, and that man probably feels he could have done more to try and win them both.
Yeah. Ali Carter 14 and the frame.
So Ali Carter has improved his 14-10 overnight lead to 16-10, which is 6 up with 7 to play, and it looks as if McGuire has got to be content with a semi-finalist's prize of £52,000. The runner-up gets 125,000, and the champion gets £250,000. The money is not irrelevant, but mostly this is the championship, which is about glory. The snooker world is divided into two classes: people who have won the world championship and those who haven't. It looks as if McGuire, having reached his second semi-final at the Crucible, is going to lose it, and he'll no doubt be spending a lot of time reflecting on the match, what he should have done and didn't do.
Yeah, he's been slightly outplayed in spells, hasn't he, by somebody that's in form. But must be quite tough, the two frames that he's lost today. It's hard to take.
Thank you. Frame 27, Ali Carter to break.
Never easy to win the final frame you need to, and McGuire will probably loosen up now, but surely to win 7 in a row is...
Please don't call out when a player's at the table.
Most unlikely.
It's rather easier to win the clinching frame when you're so far in front than if your advantage is only 1 or 2 frames. And Carter will want to have a quick kill in order to conserve his mental resources. That red in off another red shows what tends to happen when a player's playing well and he's a long way in front. Tends to get the luck as well. It's one of those inexplicable things that when you're struggling and you need luck, very often you don't get it. Most times you don't get it. When everything's going your way and set up rosy, Dame Fortune smiles on you as well. That's the tendency anyway.
Rainbow. Ali Carter, 1.
Despite having such a big lead, Carter wasn't tempted to play a big shot from the blue. McGuire's overhit that by a long way.
Well, that's the reason why I guess Carter has been waiting one, because he knows that another chance is going to come his way soon. Didn't think Carter's safety shot was all that, to be honest. Left a clear path to the right-hand side of the pack. But there you are. He's got a chance straight away from it.
One.
When McGuire reduced his arrears from 14-7 to 14-10 last evening, it seemed that he might have a glimmer of a chance. And who knows if he managed to win the tense 45-minute opening frame this afternoon.
6.
His revival might well have continued, but once he'd lost that frame, then I think realistic hope went out of the window.
Played a good shot there. Black only potable to the right corner, and only potable now that red's gone.
$14.
Oh,
Ali Carter, 14.
a close range red escapes Carter.
Yeah, I think he must have took his eye off that and thought about position.
One. 9.
I guess when a player is facing the kind of deficit that McGuire is, one's thoughts turn naturally to the biggest recoveries ever made at the Crucible. And I'm thinking of Cliff Thorburn. The last time he played at the Crucible,
16.
past his best he was, but he nevertheless got in the field. He led Nigel Bond 9-2 in the opening round, but lost 10-9. But for something like that to happen, the trailing player has got to play very well, and the player in front has got to virtually collapse.
24. $25.
Yeah, and you just feel that maybe slightly less pressure on him now, and obviously it shouldn't be, but you know, he probably feels he's lost. So often you see a player just free his arms and knock a few pots in when that happens.
33.
String a few frames together maybe. Still don't think it will be easy for Carter to win this match.
The immediate necessity for McGuire